Hi, welcome to Beginning Ukulele. Today we're going to introduce the G chord on page 22. Then we're going to go ahead and do the exercise on that very same page. So go ahead at this time. What you want to do is pause the tutorial, go ahead and get your music book, turn to page 22, and go ahead and tune up your ukulele at the same time, and we'll get started in about a second. Okay, I guess you're ready, so let's check our tuning. G, C, E, A. Hopefully your ukulele sounds like mine. If not, you got to tune it up again. Okay, so let's get started. We are going to introduce the G chord on page 22. So basically we're doing it just like you see the diagram on page 22. I also wrote it on the board. So we're going to go ahead and do that together. The G chord, so we're going to start with that first finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. The first finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, then ring finger on that 3rd fret, 2nd string, 2nd finger on the bottom string, 2nd fret, 1st strings, looking just like that, or looking like that diagram in your music book. Okay, once again, 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 2 on the bottom, 3. 2nd string, 3rd fret. Once again, 1, 2, and 3. G chord. Okay. So let's do a chord cog exercise. Before you do your chord cog exercise, please make sure your chord is correct. Okay. You have several resources: your music book, your chord chart, and it's also written on here on the board. Okay, so you got a G chord. You're going to press, relax, keep those fingers on the string. You're just pressing and relaxing. Relax, press. You're doing a chord cog exercise. Pressing, relaxing, pressing, relaxing, pressing, relaxing. Still on the strings, pressing, relaxing. Now we're going to lift it a little bit off. Please take note on how it looks. Press, relax, lift off. Press, keep the image, memorize that image, what you see, lift off. Take note on how it feels. Press, notice how it feels, how the strings feel under your fingers. So you got a image in your mind on how it feels and how it looks, how it's constructed. Lift off, press down. You really want to get a strong image in your mind before you close your eyes and do this. Okay, press down, lift off, press down and lift off. Really notice the fingering. Okay, here we go. We're going to close our eyes now. Press, close your eyes, and lift off the fretboard. You just press down, imagine it in your mind, lift off, press down, imagine it in your mind and lift off, press down. See that image in your mind, lift off, see the image coming down, and press on. Open your eyes and you should be on a G chord. If you are not on a G chord, you need to do that exercise one more time. I'm going to assume that you're okay and you're ready to move on. Okay, so let's look at page 22. Once again, when you see that 4/4 in the beginning, what that means is a common time, 4/4 time. Most important thing to remember is it's 4 beats per measure. There's some other things that it means, but we're not going to go over that right now. Just remember it means 4 beats per measure. As you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 beats per measure. Okay. There's a rest on the very last beat. Rest. The squiggly line is rest. It means we don't play. So when we come to it, we don't play. All right. Please at this time do like a chord cog exercise on the chord changes, meaning that you can do the chord changes. Okay, now I know you just learned the G chord. Okay, So primarily what you want to focus on is the G chord. Okay, concentrate on the G chord because your C chord is easy. You can make that already. And your D7 chord should be relatively easy. Should be able to make that. So right here are your hard spots. The G at the end, G at the beginning, be able to make a G chord. Okay, so go ahead and pause the tutorial at this time and try that G chord for about a minute or so. See if you can do it on your own. Do it with the chord cog exercise. And then come on back. We'll get started in about a second. Okay, so maybe got a little better. Okay, let's do the G chord together. Okay, you got a G chord, so we're gonna press, relax, press, relax. Now we're gonna close our eyes this time. We're gonna press, close our eyes, lift off the fretboard, come back down, press, lift off the fretboard with our eyes closed, press down, lift off, press down, lift off, keeping your eyes closed, seeing that image in your mind, press down, hold it, see it in your mind, open your eyes, strum, and it should sound like that. Okay, so if you're pretty close to that, you're ready to move on. If it doesn't sound like that, you want to pause the tutorial and try that chord cog exercise for the G chord a little bit more. Okay, a little bit more. Because we're about to play this exercise, so you got to be able to do that G chord, okay? Go ahead and pause the tutorial, try that G chord again if need be. And then once you're ready, we're moving on in about a second. Okay, so we're going to do the exercise on page 22, the first line only. Notice there's no double dots here. That means we don't repeat, it's just playing it one time through. One time through, okay? We're going to take it slow, not too fast. One time through, starting with your G. Here we go. 4 count. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. C. 1, 2, 3, 4. D7. 1, 2, 3, 4. G. 1, 2, 3, and rest. Okay, so that was the first line. Let's say we try that one more time. Same speed. Okay, get your G chord ready. Here we go. Is a 4 count. Same line, no repeat. First line only. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. C, 1, 2, 3, 4. D7, 1, 2, 3, and G, 1, 2, 3, and rest. Okay, now we're going to do the second 4/4 piece of music, which consists of lines 2 and lines 3. Lines 2 and lines 3. So line 2 you see G, G7, C, D7. Line 3 you see G, D7, G, and finally G. Okay, with a rest at the very end of that piece of music right there. So we're going to do lines 2 and lines 3. That's 2 lines of music. So at this time, what you want to do is you want to pause the tutorial and make sure that you can do those chord changes, okay? And we'll get started in about a second. Okay, so you gave it a try. Now let's try it together. We're going to do a chord cog exercise with those chords, making sure that we can do it together. So we're looking at line 2, we got a G, the G, then we got a G7. Keep in mind, G and G7 are totally different. Okay, they're not the same chord, and don't mix them up. Next chord is C, not too bad. Next chord is a D7, not too bad. Last line, third line, G. Next is a D7, and then a G, finally a G, and there comes the rest. Okay, so if you were able to do that, what it just did, you're okay and you're ready to go. I'm going to do it one more time. Okay, so you should be able to do that. If not, pause the tutorial, run through those chords, so you should be able to keep up with me. Okay, pause the tutorial and run through those chords so you can keep up with me. Make sure the G and the G7, okay, are the correct chords. Don't get them mixed up. Sometimes I have students that mix them up, okay, and they get them confused. Keep them separate. They're two different chords. Okay, let's go do it together. Here we go. G, we got a G. Next chord's a G7. Next chord's a C. Next chord's a D7. Last line, third line, chord's a G, then D7, then G, and then finally a G. Don't forget the rest that comes at the very end of the song. Keep in mind the very beginning signature is 4/4. That means, yes, it's 4 beats per measure. Okay, so assuming that you're ready, here we go. Last two lines, lines 2 and lines 3. Here we go, same 4 count, same speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. G7, 2, 3, 4. C, 2, 3, 4. D7, 2, 3, 4. G, next line. 2, 3, 4. D7, 1, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. And G, 2, 3, and rest. Okay, so if you need to, give that another try. Or do the first line again if you need to try that again. Either way, try fixing up your rough spots. If you need to, start the tutorial from the beginning and relearn the G chord. If the G chord is a little difficult to make, but just keep going through the tutorial until you get this section down. You got the G chord down. Very important not to get G and G7 mixed up. They're two totally different chords. Be able to do the exercise relatively comfortably, and when you find yourself ready, we're moving on to the next exercise and next lesson, and we shall see you there.